Good morning, good morning. Well, today is the 20th of October, and we are working on Lenny today. So, if you recall, those of you who are new to this whole thing, I've been working on a little short film. It's a little book actually that I created. It's called "But You Are My Friends," and it's a little short film about four different kids who basically think they're a family. They're actually four completely different ethnicities. But because they grew up together and they love each other and they hang out and they do stuff together, they see themselves as a family. And so as the story goes, the kids are living in today's environment in school, where the critical race theory has been permeating our schools, sadly, and causing children to be separated, really, because the children are being indoctrinated into thinking that some children have advantages over others. And so I did this little book. My pastor had mentioned to me, this was quite a few years back, that maybe someone should create some type of a pamphlet or book or whatever about this. And so the Lord gave me this little short story, and I illustrated it and made a little book out of it. And so now, actually, what I'm doing is making a little animated short based around it. It's not a book that's been actually put out there and published yet. I'm actually thinking I may do that, so that may happen. At any rate, in the meantime, I'm working on this little short animation. And so what I have here is I have a series of characters that I'm introducing um, in the short. And so what I'm doing here is each character is introduced, and then we move into the story. So the story has text that I read. Someone's going to read. I don't know if it would be me or someone else. And as the characters' names are mentioned, they will appear, um, you know, and there will be an introduction to each character. So that's what this is. Each one of these things I've done so far, two other characters. This is the third one that I'm doing. And let's see. Let me bring this down where you can see it a little more clearly. So when I start animating a character, generally speaking, what I try to do is I try to figure out how I want to move, how I want to make the scene work. And so what's happening here is comes into the scene, and as he does and settles, then we see his name appear on the screen here. So you can see I've got some drawings already worked out. Uh, he starts to come into the scene here. He comes down, anticipates, and goes up into the held position. So, okay, so anyway, what I thought I would do here, what I'm going to do here is go in and start to connect the drawings a little bit more. So, let's see, if we play this right now, let's see. I have this on 4s. I think what I'm going to do is, let's see, let me take each one of these frames down to 3. The last frame, let's see, has been held 12 frames, but I think we'll take this up to 18 frames. All right. Yeah. That way, once he appears, then you have a chance to read his name. I don't want to be it on the screen too long. All right, so let's see. I'm going to add a frame here. Let's see. How do I want to do this? All right. Okay, I'm going to add a frame after, and then I'm going to move that frame to the front. So if I go over to the top here, you'll see a little icon. Yeah, probably, well, anyway, I'll see if I can highlight the icon. Okay. I click on it here, and what this does is it'll move. There's two icons, and you'll see it has an arrow that goes in front and an arrow that goes in back. What that does is it moves it right after. Okay, where I'm looking, if you're wondering where I'm looking here, if you can see it at the top right hand side of the screen, you'll see some icons. You'll see the first one will be delete drawing. The one after that says label drawing. The one after that says make cycle. The fourth one says edit multiple. The fifth one is an icon that shows an arrow. There's an image that looks like it's an arrow is moving something. And if you look at the icon, there's a highlighted area, and it's an arrow, and that arrow flips over a shaded thing to show that that image would be moving from behind a frame to in front of a frame. And then right next to that icon is the same kind of thing, except it does it in the opposite direction. The last icon you see is a camera. So what I'm going to do is click on this first icon here. And by doing that, what it's done is, if you look up here in the timeline, it's added a frame, but it's added a blank frame, and that blank frame is in front of this, the first drawing. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this first drawing, which is now the second drawing. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to paste it in that blank spot. Paste. And then I'm also going to move it slightly out of frame, because the reason why I'm moving it is because I'm creating another in-between here. So that what's going to happen now is now I've got an extra drawing for the character to come into frame. And that's what I just did. Alright, now I want to put a frame between here and there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to here. I'm going to duplicate this frame after. Okay. So now I've got two frames just like this. I'm going to go to the first one. Okay. I've got my onion skin on, by the way. Grab this, and then I'm going to move this frame so that it's in between. And I can see with my onion skin with the positioning. Line up the ears, line up the body. The reason that I use this frame is because there's more of the frame there for the in-between. So it's like here, it's coming in, see? And then it gets down to there. There's your cushion. See, now we're going to get down to the bottom of that action. So I want to cushion that before he goes up. Okay. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to duplicate this one after. So that's going to make two of those frames, right, like that. The previous one, the one that's in the front, I'm going to grab that one and move it back slightly, because what I want to do here is I'm kind of coming into a position of coming into a settling of the frame. I don't want to be right in the middle. I want to kind of be just slightly cushioning. It's like I'm going to cushion into this last frame here. So the idea now is, you see I'm coming down, I get into here, I cushion, and then I go out, see, like that. So now what I want to do is I need to add a drawing between here and here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go up to here and I'm going to add after. Whenever you hit add after, it's going to add a blank frame that is the same number of frames as whatever the frame ahead of it is. So if the frame ahead of it is being held 2 frames, it'll make a blank frame that is 2 frames, or whatever length it is. So, and you'll see what the length is by looking up here In the top left-hand corner, it'll tell you how many frames the current frame that you're working on is being held. Alright, so now I'm going to make a drawing in the middle here to show our little guy coming out. So I want to have a drawing sort of in here somewhere. And as he comes in here, I want to have this hand let's see. Well, let's see here. I think what I want to do with the hand, because the hand is kind of already in a position where it's already back. So here it should be kind of coming up. Maybe it's in the middle here. And then the thumb is maybe back, but the hand, you know, so what I want to do is I want to get a kind of a snapping action where the hand is, you know, it was back, now it's starting to come forward, you see. Ding, ding, yeah, so I want to get the effect of it kind of popping out. Yeah. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh. All right. Let's see. I got my pen needs to be set smaller right now. I think I had it set too big. Bring it down to, oh, that's the eraser. Oh, that was the eraser. Oops. Okay. The brush preset. Yeah, well, even that was too big. That needs, it was at 21. It should be 7 or 8. Okay, so yeah. Yeah. All right. There we go. Yeah, I'm trying to kind of get a bit of a snap to, so yeah, as the hand comes forward. Yeah, it's kind of trying to get a snapping action here. And then on the head, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to grab the head that comes after here. So what we'll do here is I'll grab this head here. Copy that, go backwards 1 frame, paste it. Then I'm going to pivot it. Yeah. Never have been able to understand why you go to pivot something and it's like the select thing will just disappear. I don't know why it does that. Anyways, whatever. Alright, and the pivot down to the neck. Okay, there we go. And let's see, now if we bring this down to here. So what we're wanting to do is come up. Right. So I'm putting it here, but the idea I wanted to have is that the head is coming up from the down position, but now also his eyes would still be closed here. So, you know, it's going to be something like his His eyes are still going to be closed from the previous drawing. As his head starts to come up. And before, in the previous drawing, you see his eyebrows were down. So I could pop them up into that position, but I think what I'll do is keep them sort of in this position here as he's starting to come up. So you can see he's down, then he starts to come up, then his eyes open, see? And then on the hair here, I just, finish that off. His shoulder is going to be in here somewhere. Let's see, his collar on the shirt, probably there. The body, probably in there somewhere. Let's see, I think. Oh, yeah, his hand, his arm. So, yeah, he's probably going to have his arm is probably going to be in here somewhere. Okay. Yeah. So you see I'm connecting the dots. Now that's slow there, so I think we can speed that up. So what we want to do here is we have that at 3 frames. We'll make this 2 frames for each of these drawings. Because we've got so many drawings in here that I think, we can afford to speed all of this up. So that'll be better at 2 frames. Let's see. All right, let's try that. But even that's slow. You could almost make this 1 frame. Well, maybe we should make it 1 frame. Well, let's see what it looks like at 1 frame. So, what did we do? Oh, what's that? I don't know what I just did. I think I just added a frame. I added something. What was this? I made that 1 frame. Oh, I see. So let's see. Ding. So I'm going back now and I'm making each one of these that were 2 frames. Now I'm making them 1 frame. All right. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's got a little snap to it. I like that. I do think now we're going to need another drawing between. Now we're going to need another drawing between here and here. Yeah, definitely. So let's see. So I think what we'll do here is we'll duplicate. Yeah. So all right, we'll duplicate this after. Pink. So now we got 2 frames in here that are the same. So this one, let's see. I think what we can do here, let's erase everything here except the head. Because we're going to get into this frame. So what we can do, we'll grab the head here. And let's see. Bring it over a little bit. And we'll tilt it to get it up into this position. Yeah. So the idea is we want to go ding, ding. Right. Okay. So we'll go back to that frame. And we're going to have his finger, his fist. We can do here. This is another thing. So you can do is trace where the finger is, where the hand is going to be. Like that. Oh, here's a little trick too, by the way. You can grab this hand and we can stretch it. Okay. and then we can move it. See, so like this is a good way to do a drawing, a stretch drawing, which will close a gap between two positions. So like I'm going to erase, I've just overlapped it here. But what I'm going to do, watch this here for a minute. Now I stretch that arm, or that hand rather, and I put the drawing kind of in the middle. And I'm going to have this exposed to one frame. And watch what happens when I play it. Now, so I'm going to, okay, just put it in between here. This is going to be on the screen for one frame. Let's see here. Make sure we get his neck in the right spot. So let's see, the body is going to be here, like that. Neck is there, the arm maybe is coming up to here, like this. Okay, there it's going to be there. Okay, now watch what happens when I play this. So you see that quick little thing with his hand. You don't see that stretch drawing because it's going by so quick. But it does create, the gap is there. So now I could add another drawing in here, let's say from here to here. Let's see, how do I, or do I even need it? You know, I mean, it could well be that I'm maybe, no, I don't need it. Yeah, you know, actually I don't. But it's the quickness of that action is enough to close the gap between the two drawings. Now I might decide to put a cushion in there at the end, like for instance when I get to here, I could have another drawing, like I could do, oh okay, well you know what I could do here is, let's see, I'll duplicate this after, so now I've got two drawings like this. Yeah, so so what I could do here is oh yeah, I know what I want to do here. So what I can do here is I can grab this drawing, okay, and I can move it just slightly back so that it's going to kind of settle. Maybe tilt it a little bit. It's just going to kind of settle into the position that we're in. But I can take the hand, the arm rather, and I can pivot it out a bit. So like for instance, I can have the arm go just a little past the point that it's going to stop. This is called accenting. So you go just a little past where the hand is going to actually stop. So when you do something like that, it accents the movement. So watch. Yeah, you see how it gives that little accent, just a little something on the hand. It goes out past the point where it's going to stop. So it's a little accent, you know. Doop, boink. There you go. So yeah, so I mean, things like that can kind of give you a little snap to your scene, give it a little bit more something that it doesn't have. So yeah. All right then. Well, there we go. So we'll stop there. All right, good folks. I will see you guys tomorrow. We're at 24 minutes, so we'll stop there and we'll make this too long. Try to keep these videos under 30 minutes. Have a beautiful day, folks. I'll see you tomorrow. And don't forget, Jesus is Lord.